Small looks to return it. Osmajic! Late delight in front of the town end!
Torderson from a tight angle. Yes! He's done it!
You're listening to the Real North Ender podcast, your podcast for everything Preston North End. Hello everybody and welcome down to this episode of the Real North Ender podcast with me, your host, Darren Watson. And in today's episode we are going over Preston North End's tactical overview. Yes, we are talking Paul Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall's secret. What is the secret sauce they are using today in their Preston North End formations? We're going to be breaking it down for you today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So, we started off the season very well, haven't we? We started off the season really, really well. We're currently sat in fourth place, joint third with Leicester. They're on plus 5 goal difference, we're on 4. So it's just 1 goal difference, obviously, separating us there. In the table, was better off on goal difference, or Leicester. Paul Heckingbottom set up his Preston team in a few variations of roughly the same formation in like the last 3 games. So let's look at those last 3 games, for example, and break down the formations and see what's making Preston North End tick and what the secret is. Obviously our success so far. So the game against Bristol City, the 0-0 draw at home, we played a 3-1-4-2 formation. Now this formation's strengths are quite balanced in attack and defending capabilities as well. It provides a very compactive shape, obviously also offering more attacking options through dynamic wing backs, obviously the wing back system that we like playing. But the opposite of this formation is a vulnerability on the flanks. You know, it's a very high demand on the wing backs, and this is the issues that even for the most fittest of players as well, you've got to be constantly working, and you're also going to get flagged, be flagging a bit later on in the game due to the constant moving up and down those wings as well. So yeah, in that game we did play the 3-1-4-2 formation, obviously utilising this wing-back system that we like, integrated now, this Paul Heckingbottom team, this identity going forward now. Obviously we started playing that, don't we, because that's the style that Paul Heckingbottom likes. Moving on now into the game, the 2-2 draw away from home, Hull City. We played a 3-5-2 formation. Now, in that game as well, for similar to the previous formation, all the difference is we played with our wing backs, pushed a tiny bit higher up the pitch, creating pressure on Hull, and also ultimately getting those 2 early goals in the game in the first half due to utilising those pressure from the wing backs. But looking at the negatives from that game and the negatives from that formation, obviously for Hull's first goal, Small, unfortunately, was caught ball watching. And you could say that was down to his constant work, his constant pressure on him on that side of the pitch. And it did have a toll on him. Obviously his fitness and obviously his mental state during the game as well, being tired. Like I said before, it's going to be hard for these wing backs in this system because they're constantly working, constantly talking, having to constantly track back from almost defence upright into the attack as well. So it's that constant backwards and forwards all the time for these wing backs as well. And that's obviously the issue in a wing back system is if the wing backs lose it, then your flanks are wide open. They can go and attack that as well. So they've got to be on top of their game. They've got to be so fit. And they've got to work really, really hard as well. But our most recent game before the international break against Charlton, we beat them 2-0 at home. Paul Heckingbottom set his team up in a 3-5-1-1 formation. A 3-5-1-1. Now I wonder why you're saying, why is it just 1-1? So the only difference in this game was, you probably say, no, Darren, all the formations are just the same. It's just the wing backs as well in this system, just the variation of the striker. But if we watched Daniel Jebison in that game now, he does something really, really interesting. So Jebison, I don't know whether he's been told this or whether that's just his style. I know I've been one of his major critics as well in recent times for Daniel Jebison. But it's a very high IQ move from the striker as well. So what he does, he runs at the defenders. Now, what he does when he runs at the defenders, he almost breaks apart the defence, where the defence has to then say, right, I'm marking this man, and then I'm going to mark him, and I'm going to go wherever Daniel Jebison goes. Now that creates space in front of goal. So obviously we've seen where Alfie Devines and our Dobbins as well have space right in front of goal, and right. So he's just brought that defender to the left or brought that defender to the right. I'm then going to go and work in that space there that other defender, he's not there anymore. He's following Daniel Jebison because he thinks I'm going to play a through ball. I'm going to play it over the top. No, I'm going to run at this defence now in this space right in front of goal. So that's what he's been doing. He's creating the space. and it's leading to more chances on goal, and it's just such a breath of fresh air to see. This wing-back system, is working, but the one thing that Daniel Jefferson does well, I know that he's not obviously, firing all cylinders, scoring lots of goals that we want in this striker, we want in a championship striker. But what he does is his very good, high IQ move where he just brings defenders out. So he opens up that space, creating that those moments in front of goal for our players. And we're going to start seeing that more and more and more. Obviously, with Milutin Osmaic, we don't know what's going to happen with him in his court case. If, let's just say, the outcome is that he does get a ban, I don't want him to, but let's just theoretically say that, Osmaic is out for a numerous period of time. We arguably obviously started with Jefferson and maybe Smith, or variations of Smith and Dobbin, or changing that striker out. But if we play with Daniel Jefferson, he is going to be doing this a lot for us, and we're going to be seeing a lot of teams now, man marking Daniel Jefferson because of his speed. He has got speed, he has got pace, and we all know that he has. But he's going to create more chances there. We're going to need him now to be that guy to say, right, I'm not always going to get the ball. I'm not always going to be the one to run at defenders and, step over twice and beat two players and go on and score a worldie. No, he's not going to be that player. But what he can be that player to go out and drag defenders out, make that defender run with him to create that space so we can obviously flood the box and obviously get a shot on goal. Because we've seen it obviously with one of Alfie Devine's goal, with Dobbin's goal as well. That's what Daniel Jefferson is there to do. And he does it really, really well. And we need to obviously, going forward, we need to keep on doing this. But again, the secret's there. You know what I mean? Paul Heckingbottom and his team, I know that he likes playing this wing-back system, and we've got such amazing, players on those flanks as well. Obviously, with the injury to Paul, I think Paul's come in and he's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? He's been like I personally thought, and I know I've said this before on the podcast, I thought he was going to just be a bench player and he was going to come on the bench when needed. I didn't think he was going to get any game time. But again, Sheffield Wednesday fans really highly rated Valentin. And rightly so, because he's an absolutely brilliant player. And he's just come into this Preston North End team, It's come into this Preston North End team and he's done so well. To be fair to him, I've actually highly rated him as one of our best players so far this season. The way his work ethic is always on 100%, his fitness is 100%. But again, he's got injured. Now, could this go back to the point that I was making, where you're constantly working so hard as a wing back, you're constantly working so hard, you're running up and down all the time, you're prone to injuries as well. You're going to be prone to injuries. So this is one thing that I really, really am quite worried about. I think that we just need to obviously try and, you can't say, watch out for injuries, because they're going to happen. But again, this is what happens in a wing-back system. You're going to be creating tiredness. You're going to be creating, mental drain, physical, drain. Stamina's going to go, So that's the only thing that's a major issue with the wing-back system, is the constant work from your wing-backs. But again, it's worked so well. Thierry Small running down the wing. How the sun goes. But yeah, he's just done absolutely brilliantly. He's such a strong character as well. And he's only going to get better, isn't he? And he said himself he wants to play in the Premier League one day and play for England, play for his country. And you know what? A player like that that's got that mentality, I know he will, and I hope that it's with us as well. I really do hope that it's with us and he takes us up to the Premier League, because we all want that, don't we? And we all want to see him obviously achieve his dream by getting to the Premier League, and hopefully that's with Preston North End and with no one else. So I know it's been a very short episode about our formations, but again, just looking into this now, we've obviously played these games now. The wing-back formation is obviously working for us. And teams now going in from our next couple of games now. Obviously, the West Bromwich Albion game on Saturday, which I will be doing a pre-match podcast about as well. So look out for that one. But again, yeah, it's working well for us. And all we need to do now is we need to keep ourselves fit, keep ourselves healthy, and just keep on driving at this. Because this formation is working for us. We've made Deepdale a fortress at home. Let's iron out our away record. Let's get some away wins under our belt as well. And let's go on and let's just get out of this league. Let's just get out of the Championship. Even if it's for one season, I don't care. I just want to get to the Premier League, Preston North End. Please make it happen. But thank you very much for listening to me waffle on about the greatest team in the world, Preston North End, the one and only. And I will speak to you all again soon. Thank you.